everyone, welcome back to a new lesson with me today. My name is Jenny, and as the title of this lesson says, it is all about idioms, specifically winter idioms. So all of these idioms contain what I would say are winter words, such as cold and ice, that sort of thing. So without further ado, let's get straight into the lesson. The first idiom that I have for you today is to be snowed under. So if you are snowed under, you have too much to do and not enough time to do it in. And I think most of us have felt like that at some point in our lives. Some example sentences might include, would you mind if we put off the meeting until next week? I am completely snowed under at work. Remember that put off means to postpone. We saw that phrasal verb in one of my 1-minute phrasal verb lessons. Another example might be, she is so snowed under at work that she doesn't have any time to take up some new hobbies. The next idiom is to put something on ice. And if you put something on ice, usually a plan or a decision, you delay it until a later date. For example, they have put their plans to buy a house on ice until they know where they want to live. Or, we can't come to a decision today, let's put this on ice until next week. The third idiom is the dead of winter. And the dead of winter means the middle of the winter, when it is the coldest and the darkest that it's going to be. For example, it was the dead of winter and temperatures reached the lowest that they had ever been. Or, for example, it gets so cold in the dead of winter that many people avoid going out. Number 4 is quite a common one, and maybe you've heard this one before, but it has to be mentioned if we're talking about winter idioms, and it is the tip of the iceberg. Okay, and the tip of the iceberg means that we are seeing the smallest, most obvious part of the problem. Meanwhile, the bigger, more important issue lies below. Much like an iceberg in the sea, you only see the very small part of the iceberg, but underneath is this big thing that's going to cause problems, much bigger problems. So, for example, the argument that you heard is just the tip of the iceberg. They have been having problems for months. Or, her failure to make her latest payment is just the tip of the iceberg. She has been having financial problems for a really long time. Number 5 is to get cold feet. And if you get cold feet, you suddenly feel extremely frightened or scared about something important that you are about to do. The thing is usually something significant and life-changing, maybe like getting married. It's quite common to say many people get cold feet just before they get married. Or, she got cold feet just before she was about to leave for her gap year. She almost didn't go, she was that worried. Number 6 is to break the ice, another really common one that you might have heard before, or maybe it even translates the same in your language. I know it does in Spanish. So if you break the ice, you make everyone feel more relaxed. You do something to make everyone feel more relaxed the first time that they meet. For example, they organize a game at the beginning of the party to break the ice. Or the teacher made sure to break the ice on his first day at school. The next one is to freeze somebody out. And this means to deliberately not include them in some sort of activity. For example, he knew it was time to look for another job when they began to freeze him out of important projects. Or, if you want to break up with him, remember that means to end a romantic relationship. If you want to break up with him, you really shouldn't freeze him out. It's important to be honest with him. Number 8 is to blow hot and cold. So if somebody blows hot and cold, they constantly change their mind about a particular topic. For example, she can't decide whether to leave her job. She keeps blowing hot and cold about it. Or, you can't keep blowing hot and cold. It's important to make a decision and commit to it. The penultimate idiom, number 9, is to be skating on thin ice. If you are skating on thin ice, you are doing something risky. You are doing something that could put you in danger. Much like the literal meaning, if you skate on thin ice, there is a strong possibility that you will fall through and find yourself in some difficulty. For example, putting all of your money into one stock is skating on thin ice. I really hope you don't have any problems. Or, his parents have told him that he is skating on thin ice. He'll be grounded if he gets into any more trouble at school. The last idiom that I have for you today is in the cold light of day. And if you think about something in the cold light of day, you reflect on something that you did in the past, usually something that you regret or that you don't feel good about. For example, I was extremely angry last night, but thinking about it in the cold light of day, I may have overreacted. Or, this isn't a good time to be talking about this. Let's discuss it tomorrow morning in the cold light of day. Those are the 10 idioms that I have for you today. I really hope that you found this lesson interesting and useful. I know I really love to learn idioms. Even if I'm not confident I can use them in every conversation, being able to recognize idioms is a great way to not lose track of a conversation. If a native speaker uses an idiom, it can be a little bit confusing if you don't know what it means, because often they're not literal, right? So this is the last lesson that I'll be publishing before Christmas and New Year. So if you celebrate Christmas, I wish you a very Merry Christmas, and I wish all of you a very happy New Year. I will see you in 2022. Bye.